dear class 9 students, we are back with a new chapter of SST on the only and only ACE series. So you guys are aware that on the platform Diksha Vedantu, we started a series to complete your class 9 syllabus particularly and to teach you class 9 in the best way possible, that too in English. So my dear students, I am aware that your books have not been released by CBSE up till now, but your academic curriculum has been released by CBSE. According to that, the second chapter is going to be shaping of Earth's surface. I am aware in many of the schools the chapters are being taught, right? Because we as teachers are aware about what majorly the chapter will contain. Similarly, the research work has been done from my side and I have brought you the chapter which will somewhere 80% be similar to what is going to come in your CBSE books too. So if you are worried about the books are not yet been released and still ma'am is teaching, do not worry about that. I already did the first chapter, understanding social science, and a lot of students gave the comment that ma'am, this is exactly what was taught in school, and from this reference we can prepare and give our class test very nicely. Okay, don't worry about that. Just a warm welcome on the platform Diksha Vedantu, CBSE English, and this is your SST faculty Tanvi. The topic of the chapter for today is shaping of the Earth's surface. See, similar such chapter is studied by you in your class 7th in the geography book. Okay, consider this topic as a in-depth explanation to what you studied in class 7. Okay, and majorly it is somewhere similar to that only, but it is the time we should focus more what we can say, more nicely to it, more in-depth knowledge about it. Okay, so the first thing is that, see, when we look at the Earth surface, you will see that somewhere there are mountains, somewhere there are plain areas, somewhere there are plateaus. In that also the shape, the size of everything is quite different. Like the Himalayan mountains and the range is quite higher than that of Aravalli mountains, right? Isn't it? Yes, so everything around us is not having same shape, same size, and even the same color. Like if I talk about the formation of soil, there are black soil, red soil, yellow soil. So what is the difference or why it is different from each other is the answer in this chapter. Because see, the platform of Earth is not evenly distributed throughout the world. It is different from one another, and that is because of its formation, and its formation depends upon that how it is being formed. Either it is formed inside the earth crust or outside the earth crust. Yes, this is also possible. So let us understand everything nicely. We will start with the topic that is interiors of the earth. See, we know that, right? Among the 8 planets in the world, we are living on the earth. We are aware about that, and it is the only planet which has life. That also we know. Now let me tell you one thing, we are living on the surface of the earth. Okay, we are also aware of that. But when we go inside the earth in depth, like we dig the ground, go inside and inside, we will not see the similarity in the interior of the earth. There are layers around the earth's surface, right? But now you might be thinking, ma'am, is anyone who dug the hole and went in the interiors of the earth up till to a certain level of layers, not till beneath, because the temperature increases as we go inside the earth crust or the more layers. Getting my point? So through the research and all those technologies, now we are aware that there are 3 layers of the earth's surface. At the top we have what? Crust. Okay, at the top what do we have, bacha? Crust. This is the outermost as well as thinnest layer of the earth crust, where we as humans are living over it. Getting? Second is mantle. Now as we move from crust to mantle, the thickness it is more, the thickness has been increased. It's the layer which is more thick than the crust. It consists of molten as well as semi-molten magma. Like if I tell you, see, this is crust and this is particularly mantle. What is mantle made up of? Like when we see volcanic eruption, what comes out of it? The lava comes out of it. The lava is actually the magma. When it is inside the earth crust, it is known as magma. When it comes outside the earth crust, it becomes lava. So magma is basically the material that is either in what we can say plastic type, like when we burn plastic, the semi-solid state that we get is particularly found here. And you know, there is one more layer between this crust and mantle, right? This is liquid magma and it is known as asthenosphere. What it is known as? An asthenosphere. Do remember this because crust is floating over this asthenosphere. Pay attention, crust is floating over its asthenosphere. Like on river, when we put some wood-like structure, wood-like block on it, it will float because it's lighter. Right? Similarly, it's not liquid, but it's semi-liquid on which crust is floating. Okay? And when we go beneath it, there is a core. Do you know this is the innermost layer, which is also popularly known as nephe, right? Why does it is known as nephe? Now, you are going to write it in the comment section because this is something we studied in class 7. Right? There are two elements present in it. What does Ni stands for? What Fe stands for? If sometimes my mind says that let me tell to the students, I will. Okay? So it consists of outer core. Now the strange thing in this is the outer core here. Right? The outer core here is liquid. However, the inner core here is solid in nature, which is quite strange, but it is due to the formation, it is due to the pressure and all. Right? Getting my point? So how many layers are there in the earth crust? There are 3 layers, that's crust, mantle, and the innermost is core. Why are we studying this in this chapter? Because, bacha, the formation of the land surface depends upon the interiors also. Whenever the magma which is inside the earth surface comes out, it solidifies, it leads to the formation of a landform. Yes or no? Yes, it is. Whenever this earth crust floating on the asthenosphere moves from one place to another, again there is formation or the destruction of the landform. Yes, it is. That is the reason we studied this topic, interiors of the earth. Now here is a quick question from my side to all the students watching. Answer needs to be in the comment section. Which layer of the earth is the outermost layer? Very easy. Option is mantle A. B is core, C is crust, or inner core, that's D. Next question, right? Give me the answer in question number 1 and question number 2. This is question number 2. Which layer of earth is mainly composed of iron and nickel? This is the reason I didn't tell you that nephe here is iron and nickel. Okay, basically crust is known as Cl and mantle is known as Sema. Cl, silica plus aluminium, here silica plus magnesium. So nephe, that's nickel and iron. Tell me the correct answer in the comment section right now. Now comes the second and the most important topic of this chapter, that is theory of plate tectonics. See, we see that there are 3 layers on the earth surface: crust, mantle and core. Right? See, that crust, okay, that is the topmost layer of the earth surface, is not at all one single block. It cannot be possible. Rather, it is divided into certain major and minor plates. Major and minor plates. That land surface is known as what? Plates. Like this is one of the block. For example, this is small one of the block, then small one. So there are lot of major as well as minor plates, right, on which we are living. Right? Now, as these plates are over asthenosphere, so they are floating. When they are floating, they might be colliding with each other, like it happens in in so many of the rides we are having, right? So, or they are moving from each other, resulting into the formation of new surface. So we will talk about that. Let's first see how many major or minor plates are there. See, there are a lot of minor plates, we can't count them, but there are certain number of major plates. Like this is one land, that is North American plate. See what it is known as North American plate. Can you see that? Now we have one more plate, that is North. This is South American plate. See, one plate is known as South American plate. Then here this is Antarctic plate. This is what? Antarctic plate. Here it is Indo-Australian plate. Basically this is Indian plate, this one, and this is Australian, which we collectively called as Indo-Australian plate, right? This is Pacific plate. A plate can be, pay attention here, I am telling you this also, and this is Eurasian plate in which both Europe and Asia comes. This one is particularly African plate. Now bacha, earth crust, right? If I talk about earth crust, in the earth crust there are two things. Either there is land resource or it is water, or we can write it as water or oceans, right? So in the land and in the water, the difference is single that, right? The difference is single that. Like see, for an example, this is earth crust, right? Over what? Over mantle. So earth crust is not same everywhere. The depth of the earth crust may be vary from each other, right? And this place is filled with water. So the depth in the oceans is very less. However, the depth at the land surface is more, right? This complete earth crust is divided into some major and minor plates, and this is how, because of the movement of plates, landforms are formed. Okay, we understood that. Now let's understand quite more deeper what happened, bacha. See, magma, asthenosphere, okay, the liquid magma over which crust is moving. In that crust also, what we have seen that, bacha, there is a oceanic plate, there is land plate, there are major plates, minor plates. So there are three types of movements particularly, okay? Either the movement is such that the plates are moving away from each other, okay? They are known as, this movement is known as divergent movement. Pay attention. This is known as what? Divergent movement. See, like if I see, take this copy, right, and this, consider it is floating over a magma. If these are the two major plates, if they are moving away from each other, what will happen? A valley will be, see this between, a valley is formed in between. Getting my point? If two plates are coming closer to each other, they will collide, and similarly like these mountains will be formed. If you can understand, you can understand this better with the help of two copies, and here we have luckily two copies, right? So see, if this is, these are the two plates, so difficult. So if these are the two plates colliding with each other, coming close to each other because of the movement of the earth and the magma, this will collide and eventually it will gradually leads to the formation of what? Like this will collide with each other, and here it will be like formation of mountains gradually. Getting my point? The one is divergent movement, moving away from each other, in between a new landform is there, okay? Or it is transform movement, they are moving like this one. This is the transform movement, right? Rubbing among each other. Getting my point? So these are the different types of movement. The first is divergent, when plates are moving away from each other and in between a valley is formed. Convergent movement, usually plates are coming closer to each other, mountains are formed. Or what we can say, the transform movement like this. Nothing happens, no landform is made or neither of them is destructed. Like here you can see that the landforms are what we can say, they are moving to each other, right? So there is the formation of a new landform. Here it is also the formation, but before the formation, destruction takes place. Getting my point? These are the types of plate tectonic movement. These are the types of what? Plate tectonic movements. So now comes to the question, the Himalayas were formed due to, what do you think? Option A, divergent plate movement, B, transform, or C, convergent, or D, that's volcanic. See, bacha, if you will look at the map, na, let's go to the map, this particularly, you will see here, this is a plate known as Eurasian plate. When there was southern movement of the Eurasian plate and the northern movement of Indo-Austrian plate, right? Here the Himalayan mountains were formed. So when two plates, Eurasian plate and the Indo-Australian plate, combined with each other, they came closer, convergent with each other, and hence the new landform was formed. That is what? New landform was formed, that is known as what? Himalayas. Similarly, in convergent movement, after the destruction, what happened? New landform is formed. New landform is formed in what? Beta, convergent movement. Similarly, the Himalayan mountains are formed due to what? Convergent plate movement. With two plate movements are converged here. So we have Eurasian plate, right, as well as we have Indo-Austrian plate. Indo-Austrian plate. Get it? So this is how certain, like what happens? Certain landforms are formed. Tectonic plate floats on. What? Now, this is easy, which you are going to tell me in the comment section. Now comes different topics, more topics about this chapter. The first is weathering. Now, what is this weathering? See, up till now, what we studied was about the interiors of the earth. Like in the interior, what is happening? That's leading to the formation of what? Landforms. Now we will talk about what is happening on the exteriors of the earth's surface. Okay, in that one process is weathering. What is weathering, bacha? Weathering is a process in which rocks are being broken down into pieces at the same places where they are. See, right now around ourselves we can see different rocks of different sizes, right? The mountain is also basically a larger rock, right? We can see small rocks around, then we can see small pebbles around, then also soil. So this is basically a journey of a part of rock that like the journey passes from one time to another, which changes its shapes and size. So there is a process in which the rocks are broken into pieces, right? Broken into pieces, but the term here is that they remains on the same place, they do not move. Is this happening? Yes, there are three types of weathering which will make you understand that. First is physical weathering. Like, see, this is a what? This is a rock which on its place, just because of the like what we can say temperature, increase in temperature, or because of rainfall, right, or because of action of river, like river all the time creating, like whenever river is coming, right, river is flowing, right, and on the corner side there is a rock, right? Every time river flows with speed, with pressure, it put pressure on the rock and it gets separated between two parts. So what is happening? This is because of physical nature. Because of physical nature, if any such rock is being broken down into two pieces, that is known as physical weathering. May either it be temperature, action of even glacier to action of glaciers. What happened? The ice, right? Similarly, see, this is a rock. This is a rock, there were spaces somewhere, water fell down, water get filled here, the temperature is very low, it becomes snow or ice. What happened? Right, it will put pressure on the rock, because see, the state of the solid and liquid is different. So when it becomes ice, it builds pressure on it, and it will again, what is ice? Water. Ice, water, the process goes on, and that put pressure on the rock, which leads to separation. This is known as physical weathering. Other than that, we have chemical weathering also, because of action of any chemical, like through the rain also, chemicals fall on the surface. So because of any chemical, if there is disintegration among the rock, then this is also here. Then we have biological weathering, like plants hold the what we can say, plants holds the soil. Sometimes the sometimes the depth of a plant through its root, it's so much that it grabs the rock completely. The roots of the plants are so hard, and eventually it makes it what? Breakable, or it leads to breaking of the rocks. So these types of weathering happens. However, what are the uses of weathering? It helps in use of soil formation. It breaks rocks into pieces. We know that it helps in releasing minerals, because in these rocks lies the what? Minerals. So this is the process how which we get access to those minerals that were in the rocks, right? Creates natural landforms like caves, arcs and valleys. Getting my point, bacha? Like if I talk about two mountains, right? There were two solid mountains among each other. A river is flowing continuously from here, which is putting pressure here. Years later, the distance between this was increasing, and this is how a valley formed between. So this is because of the action of the river pressure, right? So there are a lot of times what the natural things like natural forces, wind, water, air, glacier, leads to the formation of certain type of landforms. However, here we are talking about weathering. In this process, the rocks do not move. It breaks down on its own place, because we have one more thing. Now that concept is erosion. What is erosion, my dear student? Now this is a process in which weathered rock, the rock that broke away, pay attention, the rock that broke away is now moving from one place to another by natural agents like running water, glacier, wind and waves. Like consider your group of friends, right? Your 5 groups of friends. Now you are discussing about something, chit-chatting about something, or we can say you're talking about someone else. Okay? Now what happened? You 5 are trusting each other that your that chit-chat will not leak to anyone. But now you guys have a fight among yourself, and one betrayed you, and that person leaked that conversation to others. So now what happened? That group of 5 people was weathering. Process is going on, chit chat is going on, but among that 5 people, now what happened? You would fight among each other. Now your conversation is going to other people, right? Through the forces like one person, 2 person, 3. Getting my point? And that is known as erosion. That these weathered rock, right? These weathered rock moving to another places with these agents of nature like running water, glacier, winds, natural agents, right? This process is known as erosion. It is helpful in the formation of landforms, right? Because what happened, like see, there is a river, right? This river is coming from mountains. In the mountains, breaking of rocks is taking place, right? Okay, but when these mountains, these broken up rocks are being carried by these rivers, right? Being carried by these rivers, and this river started depositing it somewhere. Like see, whenever a river comes, the river comes with pressure, but somewhere it slows down. It slowed down. The speed of river in Rishikesh is not same in UP or not in West Bengal. That speed is so high in Rishikesh. Why? Because it's a starting point, uplifted area. When it comes to plain area, the speed of that river or the capacity to hold that sediment loosen up, and when it reduce, it start depositing those elements. So consider these sediments are deposited here. What happened? What will be formed? Alluvial plain will be formed. I'm just giving you an example. There are a lot of examples we studied in class 7, like formation of beaches, formation of mushroom rocks, sand dunes, alluvial plains, alluvial fans, right? We talk about dunes, like Dehradun is how it is formed, because dun is formed there. What is there? It is bought up sediments that got deposited over there, and a landform is formed, flat landform is formed. So there are examples of lot of things. So hence this is the use, helps in the formation of what landforms, contribute to soil formation for obvious, as erosion. Through erosion, what will be happen? Sediments will be brought from one place to another. In that, the sediments were getting smaller into granule nodes, right? Getting mixing with humus, mixing with nutrients, forming to soil. helps in shaping river course for sure. Transporting mineral and nutrients play a role in natural cycle of landscape, and this is how it works. So here I have presented you a brief difference between weathering and erosion, which you will go through and understand better that this is the difference between weathering and erosion. And I hope that this one is quite clear to each of my student present here. Now answer this question and tell me in the comment section, and I'm moving to the next topic, that why erosion is happening in the world. Right? When erosion is happening, that means the broke away weathered rock transported from one place to another with the help of which agents? 5 agents. With the help of agents like running water, bringing the sediments, depositing, leading to the formation of various landforms like alluvial plains, alluvial fans, as I told you, delta. Right? Do we know this? Yes, we know this. We studied this in class 7. Now, similarly is the winds. Winds bringing what? Formation of what? Formation of basically deserts, sand dunes, mushroom rocks, right? This is happening. If we talk about waves and ocean currents, yes, beaches are formed. How? Because these waves or the ocean currents bring along with them the sediments, get deposited, formation of landform. Similar is with glaciers. Like if I talk about glaciers, what happened? The glaciers are formed in the region which has very low temperature. Glacier forms, but when they melt down, right? What happened? The water along with them brings the sediments as it get attached to the rock, weathered rock. And the same is underground water too, bacha. One more factor is underground water. So these are the natural agents that leads to what? Formation of so many landforms. So which of the following is not an agent of erosion? Wind? Yes, it was. River? Yes, it was. Glacier? Yes, it was. But sunlight is not an example. Do you think that sunlight is it? Sunlight has no relation in the formation of landform. Okay, getting my point? Great. Now next topic is here. Mushroom rocks are formed mainly due to, answer this in comment section, major landforms of the earth's surface. But now, what we studied in class 7th was the landforms formed by what? Landforms formed by these running water and etc. Here in class 9, bacha, what we need to study is major landforms. Like we know that in the world, on the earth's surface, we have mountains. Do you know? Yes. We have lot of mountains, particularly in India and world too. Like if I talk about India, we have Himalayan mountain ranges, Aravalis, Vindhyan and Satpura in the south, in between, okay, Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Similarly, we have lot of mountains around the corner in the world. Name some of them in the comment section so that I can test do you know or not. Any of the mountain. Then we have river plains. Right? We know that since our civilization, like Chinese civilization is what? The people live there and formed, that group of people live there and form a lifestyle. Right? If we know, India had Indus Valley civilization around which river? Indus River. By that river flows, bring that sediments, make this plain area where people live, do agriculture because fertile land is there. China, Yangtze River, there was Chinese civilization, Mesopotamia. Right? Then Egyptian civilization, all these were over the rivers only. Then we talk about plateau. What are plateau? These plateaus are uplifted area but not mountains, because mountains have peaks and these are the flat top areas. Then similarly we have coastal plains like rivers. The oceans also bring sediments and form plain area. Then we have glacial plains. Similarly, we have deserts and we have coastal landforms. Let's talk about all of them here. Okay, getting my point, bacha? Quite interesting or not? Or do you feel this boring? I know, bacha, but you know what? Geography is the most interesting one that you are going to study this year. Class 9 geography is literally very nice, right? Particularly, I find that the chapter that was in your last year book, that the physical features of India, that was better. But here, you will understand from basics. The next chapter is somewhere similar to that of class 9. So here, all the basics are there, which we studied in class 7th in depth. Okay, now coming to this one, the first is mountains. The first is here what? Mountains. So what is mountains? Mountains are basically what? They are the uplifted landforms that have peak. They are not equal to that of Earth's surface. They are uplifted, but they might have formed because of some reasons. Now, yes, we studied that in the starting. I'll tell you. So there are three types of mountains. Pay attention, there are three types of mountains. Fold mountains, block mountains, volcanic mountains. Fold, block, volcanic. Fold, block, volcanic. If we talk about fold mountains, when two plates come with each other, like two plates collide with each other and it causes a fold, that is known as fold mountains. When layers of rocks are compressed and folded due to tectonic force. The best example of this fold mountain is Himalayas. Eurasian plate collided with Indo-Australian plate. What happened? Fold mountain forms. Next one is block mountain. See, when two plates move away from each other, it creates valley here. Right? Now these landform features become the mountains and this becomes the valley. And this is known as what? Block mountains. What it is known as? Block mountains. Like if we see Vindhyans and Himalayas. See, and in between this river is started flowing because this area is filled by something, and that's water. So if you see that these are Vindhyan mountains in Madhya Pradesh, and this is what Satpura mountains. When the plate moved away from each other, a valley is formed in between from where river Narmada flows. Getting my point? The best example is this. Now we have volcanic mountains. When what happened? When the lava comes out, when the magma comes out basically, and that lava becomes solidified. Like see, this is the earth's surface, okay? In this earth's surface here, tremors happen or something like that. Because of this, what happened? With pressure, the magma comes out, comes out, comes out. Now it gets solidified in the same structure. What do you think is forming? These are referred as volcanic mountains. These are referred as volcanic mountains. Mount Fuji in Japan is the example of that. Okay. Is any mountain in India formed of volcanic eruption? Do you think? No. Right? Only and only one active volcano is there in India. That's in Andaman and Nicobar. That's Barren Island. No other volcano is active in India. Okay, however, it since years not has been busted. Getting my point? So here was the first landform, that is mountain, and the second one is plateau. What is plateau? Plateau is a high flat topped landform. See, now see, there is a difference between mountain. Mountains have peaks. The plateaus do not have peaks. They are flat landscapes. Okay, they have slopes. So they are also formed out of two. We have tectonic uplift or tectonic, like because of the movement of the plates or because of volcanic activity. That's similar in the mountain ones. Great. Now next one is plain area. By plain area, flat tabletop, right? Flat top, low lying area. It is not as high as plateau. It's not above the earth's surface. It is flat area. Here this flat area or plains are formed out of three things, right? What is that three things? River plains. By we studied that those natural agent river forms the landform. What is that landform? That's river plain. Right? When these rivers are coming since long way, they bring along with them these weathered rock becoming small in size because of long distance, pressure was there, they got hit by each other, broke into multiple pieces. But when this capacity of the river to hold these rocks reduces, what happened? It gets deposited. And when it gets deposited, an area is formed that is known as river plain. River plain. I hope that's pretty clear to you. Okay. The next one is coastal plain. Similarly, something happened with this pen. Similarly, something similarly happens with the ocean regions also. Like oceans brings along with them sediments. Like beaches are formed. and same is glacier plain. See the pictures out here. See, river plain, wide, flat and fertile plain formed by river because of this is formed by the sediments brought by river. Now these are so ideal for cropping because they have a lot of what? Nutrients along with them. Coastal plains, they don't have nutrients. Broad flat plains along the coast formed by wave actions and marine deposits, often low lying but yeah, fertile. Most fertile is this river plain. Okay, glacier plains, broad plains formed by glacial erosion and deposits covered with rock, sand and clay left behind by glaciers. Hope this is also clear to you. Next is valley. By valley, two plates move away from each other, formed what? Valley between the mountains. Okay, now valley is categorized by its shapes. Like see, this is forming a U-shaped valley. This is the formation of what? V-shaped valley. So valleys are low-lying areas of land found between mountains or plateaus. Two types are there, U-shaped valley or V-shaped valley. What are the valleys? U-shaped valley or V-shaped valleys. Get it, my dear student? Very good. Next is deserts. Why we know that? These are the areas where grains are there. Granular depositions of rocks are there. By grains I mean that. But what happened? Bacha, those sediments are so granular in nature because of the lack of what? Because of the lack of rainfall. All the process out there is same. But the rainfall is less in those regions, even less than 25 centimeter of rain, right? Now here what happens? High temperature, high evaporation, like less rainfall. This is the, like, if I talk about India, see, the situation in India is such that if we look at this map, right, and understand the situation, I'm not drawing the full map, you will see that here there are Himalayan here there are Aravalli mountains. Here there are what? Aravalli mountains. So here, now see, if we see this southwestern wind enters to this Kerala region first, right? Go to the northeast. Bacha, this you will understand very nicely in the chapter that is climate chapter. If this is visible, go to the northeast region. Here it comes, like here, above here comes the Himalayas, because of which this wind become diverted and move likewise, right? Here the northern plain receives rainfall because of these winds. Pay attention, I'm telling you once again. What happens? Southwest wind moves to this region. Okay, and the first South India got the rainfall early, we know that. Then it moves likewise, moving to from here Bay of Bengal, they pick up the humidity, right, pick up this water, and then a lot of rainfall happens in this northeastern region. They move this direction, northern direction, because now here are the Himalayas. Okay, they collide with Himalayas, and there now the movement of the wind is being forwarded like this. But here comes the Aravalli ranges. The winds are coming. The winds are coming with water, but because Aravalli ranges are disrupting it, all the moisture is dropped down here. The wind flows here, but with less moisture. Because of what happens? The soil becomes, which in nature is sandy in nature, and the sand is formed. Getting my point? And this is how deserts are formed in the areas where there is rainfall less than 25 centimeter. So this is one of the landform feature, desert. Now next is coastal landform, as I already told you. See beta, landforms that are formed along the shoreline by combined action of waves and ocean currents are known as coastal landforms. I can help you understand what is this. There are lot of type of landforms out here which is formed because of the action of ocean currents. Like we saw na that landforms are formed because of the action of ocean currents and waves. Which are the type of landforms? See, This is an ocean. This is an ocean that is colliding with a landform, right? With a landform, but continuously for years, when both of these are collided with each other, because of that pressure, some rocks get weathered and some rocks get sedimented or eroded from that place. Or maybe because of due to other action, some have been bought there. See, if you see that this is particularly the area where sandy something is being deposited. This is beach. Beach is sandy part that is formed because of what? Ocean. Ocean brings that. I hope that is visible to my bachas. I hope that is visible to you. So what happens? The beach is formed because of it. Right? When sediments are brought down by these oceans. See, in this ocean, because for years this ocean was creating pressure on this landform, the rest of the area get weathered and then the water took away. That means erosion took place. Whatever is left out here like this is known as sea stack. What it is known as? Sea stack. Similarly, you find this here. Right? What it is? This is sea cave. This landform, what this is, bacha? This is sea arc. This larger part, what it is? This is sea cliff. Okay, this is sea cliff. This is bay. Right? Pay attention. This is what? Bay. Like from all the sides, water is there and small part is there through which water is passing. This is a place. This is a zone from where water is passing and the rest small landform is there. Pay attention. If you are not able to understand what bay is small part of land, right? Small part of land which is dividing water into two parts. Okay. Then there is an headland. See, this is the headland of this bay. So what I want to show you from this is, because of this action of what? Winds. Sorry. Because of the action of ocean waves and currents, what happened? Different type of landforms are formed. Similarly, the landforms are formed because of the rainwater, because of running water, because of action of wind, glaciers, etc. Okay, so now this was how certain landforms are formed around the world. But now we have to pay attention because of the natural agents and because of human factors also. Certain natural disasters occurred, right? Yes, this chapter contains a brief description about these, what beta? These natural disasters, and we will study about earthquake. What is earthquake? Since childhood we are studying that. See, because of that magma, earth crust is floating, shake, sometimes it may collide with each other. Do you think that this collision is so easy or the separation is so easy? By it is large lands. When they collide with each other, everything shakes. So whenever there is sudden shaking of earth surface caused by the movement inside the earth crust, that is known as earthquake. Okay, then we know landslides, like majority of times when we go to Himalayan region, Himachal Pradesh and all that, when there is a lot of rainfall, we see in that mountains such land just got slide down. See this type of thing. Have you seen that? Yes, we have seen that, right? So rapid movement of this rock, soil and debris down the slope, rapid movement. It also happened because of any disruption under the earth surface, and that is known as bacha what? Landslide. This is a natural disaster. If someone might be here traveling from the road, no more tomorrow. Okay. The third is avalanches, large mass of snow and ice rushing down a mountain slope. Similarly, like here the rock is sliding down, here what? Glaciers or snow or ice is sliding down. Like, okay, this may happen in the Himalayan region where it is snow-bound area. Then we have glacial lake outburst flood. Now what is this new thing we are reading? See, sudden flooding that is caused when water from a glacial lake bursts through its barrier. Now what happens? So many glaciers are formed, but we know that because of the increase in global warming, the temperature is growing up, and sometimes that glaciers, right, floods up. It converts into water, and all those water breaks those barrier and enter into the region where it affects the life. Okay. And the last is dust storms. Yes. Strong wind that lift and carry large amount of dust through air. So this is basically what we can say, many times during the summer, right, when there is lack of what we can say, lack of humidity in the nature, it's just the high temperature around it, lot of time strong winds are coming, you will see that circle of that wind, right? Isn't you? Will you? Yes. But this is not that one. This is storm, dust storm that actually affects the life, right, livelihood of a person. It is so strong that whenever it is happening, it will even destroy the houses of the people, large buildings, forest area, etc. And life is basically one of them. Okay, get it? So these are the list of natural disasters which were added in the chapter this year. I hope that everything is clear to you. But yeah, this was a brief chapter in which I targeted one thing, and that target was to make you clear this will how your chapter look like once the book comes. Okay, up till then you might be going through your class test, you might be curious about learning things. Why should we stay vacant at that time? Why should be like blank what we are going to study SST, what we are going to study in SST? That's the reason I bought this video. So hope that's helpful. This is the second chapter of social science, and that chapter's name is Shaping of Earth Crust. If you still could not understand anything, you're free to comment down right now. And if you're thinking that, ma'am, as we don't have books, we need this PDF. Yes, I know that you might be thinking that. For that, I have added one thing for you, my dear students, and that is, see, this is our YouTube channel, that is Diksha Vedantu CBSE English. That's what, Diksha Vedantu CBSE English. I'll tell you one thing. So the first chapter was understanding social science, right? I'll tell you one thing, that is understanding social science, where it is. Here it is. 5 days back, in this A series in which you are studying right now, we uploaded this particular chapter, Understanding Social Science, in which I explained the chapter completely. Get it? Now, some days later, I went live for this chapter, that is Understanding Social Science. This is the live. And we practiced all the questions that were important in the perspective of the chapter. So now what I'm telling here, as you learn this chapter, Earth surface, I will be going live with the important questions too. So I'm giving you time that up till then you study. Okay, now the main point, for that study you need the PDF. For that PDF you need to go to the chapters video like this, like I'm going right now. And then in the video here, see, there is description of the video. When we'll go to the description, you will be easy to see this. Here it is written, download your free session PDF here. You click to this link, enter the credentials which are asked by you, and then get what? The PDF of what? The chapter we studied just now. Okay, so what we studied today in the today's session, basically, first thing we started with the interiors of the earth, consisted of crust, mantle, core. Okay, then we went to what? Then we understood certain features like weathering, erosion. But let me tell you one thing, it's basically the degradation. Right? Weathering is degradation, breaking of rocks. Then what we saw? Erosion. Erosion is taking away. In this process, two things are happening. Either those sediments are deposited somewhere, okay, taken from one place to another. So either they are destructed or become deposited another way. Either they are destructing a landform or forming. Like if sediments are brought from here, the destruction is taking place here. But if the sediments are brought and deposited here, another landform is formed here. Like for example, there are lot of larger sediments which are brought down by rivers, and these were the part of a rock. Okay, a rock. Now these sediments are brought down by rivers, get deposited into small pieces because of erosion. They broke down also, and here they form plain. Don't you think a new landform is formed here? Yes, but an older one is destructed here. Yes, this is what I mean to explain you, right? So this is all the process which leads to the formation of new landforms. Whenever the action is because of wind, because of ocean waves, that is also known as aberration. degradation. That is also known as aberration, the same thing. Okay, that same degradation is known as aberration whenever it is caused by wind or ocean waters. Clear or not? Hope everything is clear to everyone. So now natural disasters are caused, but we know that we have certain organizations for these natural disasters. Like whenever natural disasters happen now, so there is a body that protected. What actions do they take? So basically the first one is, because with the help of meteorological department, they first analyze that if any of the disaster is going to occur. Like if we talk about earthquake, with the help of that seismic waves, we first get the information that earthquake is going to happen. What are seismic waves? The waves that we get from the earth crust. If some disruption is happening, meteorological department will detect it. So we previously, because of this technology, knows about it. So the pre-disaster management, and if disaster comes, the post-disaster management, and then to rehabilitate that area which affected the lives, is basically the work done by disaster management team. Okay, so now the chapter is completely done from my side. We will practice this chapter in the live session. Up till then, go through the PDF, understand it nicely. Let's meet in the next video in which series? A series with Tanvi ma'am on the platform Diksha Vedantu CBSE English.